Since we're ranking the movie Batmobiles in Arkham Knight, I want you, yes, you, to grade each one in the comments, rate them on looks, physics, and audio. I want to see who has the best picks, and if anyone thinks Gotham Knights did it better, I'll see you in the replies. First up, we have the Keaton Batmobile from Batman 1989. The exterior looks incredible with the rainy weather. The matte black has a really sleek finish, and you can see the individual raindrops trickling down the hood. The wheels have really great details with the Bat logo in the middle, and what I didn't notice was that Rocksteady left a signature saying Rocksteady TX7 Wayne Motors Enterprises prototype. Front part of the car has an always spinning rotor, which is pretty accurate to the movie, and the winged spoilers sell a really arcadey look. They didn't forget the fuel flap either. What's totally missing from this Batmobile is the entry door is as smooth and works as accurate to the movie. Only Batman's cape clips through it. Unfortunately, as you step inside, you see that the windows have no transparency. So how does Batman see if he's driving like this? Well, he doesn't, and that's where Rocksteady went wrong with this Batmobile. However, I'll give them credit on this. The fact that they are reflections, however low res, they still exist. I've gotta say, stepping to the interior, it looks really good, but very uncomfortable. I heard that it was modeled after a fighter jet, maybe that is why. So what do you think of the interior? I'd say it's good, except for the fact that the interface does not even work. I tested by driving in first person to see if anything would show up, and nothing, it's just blank. And if you see from the movie itself, Batman actually has black leather seats, not solid steel ones. Batman loves his comfort. And how does the Batmobile sound when it's on the road? And how does the movie's version sound like? The film's version is way more layered than the game. It's a ghost when Batman needs to be stealthy, but when he's about to put the hurt on thugs, it turns into a little jet engine. Rocksteady only turns it to 11 so that you feel the constant adrenaline of being the Batman in charge of Gotham. The acceleration isn't as good as it's portrayed in the movies, but the handling seems pretty stable except for really hard turns, though they didn't fail to capture the arcadey feeling of it. How would I rate this Batmobile for looks? I would have given it a 10 if it had those seats covered in the black leather I mentioned, but for what it's worth, I know you Keaton nerds love it, and I do too. Well, this one gets a 9 out of 10. The audio is gonna get an 8 out of 10. The fact that it does sound really accurate like a Wayne Tech prototype. The 2 points off is because of how you can't seamlessly switch the audio textures from the Ghost to the jet engine. But other than that, solid. And the physics is as good as it can get. It looks beautiful driving in the Gotham rain, 9 out of 10. Number 2, the 2008 Tumbler from Batman The Dark Knight. The chassis on this vehicle is really superbly done, and the lights on the front, just the same way as the movie, are present. The afterburner is on point, and I love how the wheels just reflect the rain so good in this game. Probably one of the coolest things this Batmobile has that the others don't is when you're turning, the little flaps at the back pull up depending on which side you turn. The sunroof opens just about the ways you'd expect, pretty clean and neat. The interiors have really great windows, front and sides alike. The seats look just the same as the 89 Batmobile, and there's no fancy buttons close to the sunroof like in the movie. It would have been cool if we had a working interface, but sadly, no. But this is the closest we have to a car tank like the base game's Batmobile. It looks and feels heavy, which is what I love about this Batmobile a lot. But does it sound as tough as it looks? They sound almost alike, but I feel like Rocksteady's version enhances the audio even more. Take this bit for example. I don't think I've heard it in the Dark Knight trilogy ever. However, if I'm wrong on this, please let me know in the comments. Nothing's wrong about the audio here. They sound alike, and they both sound vicious. And as for how it handles, it's probably the most stable one yet. I mean, it's a tank. It's supposed to wreak havoc. The Tumbler gets a 9 out of 10 for its near perfect recreation in Arkham Knight. I feel as though the window and windshield sit a bit too high from where Batman would actually sit, so it looks a bit awkward. The audio gets a 10 out of 10 for taking source material but adding onto it, making the roar of the engine sound even more menacing. As for the physics, I'll give it an 8 because it sometimes seems a bit too floaty despite it being a heavy tank. And now for the 1966 Batmobile. This one as well has very exceptional exterior design. Everything from the gloss to the detailed bat signals and the wheels. Everything just screams 1960s here. Nothing feels out of place. This is the only Batmobile that has Batman hop inside with no entry door. Ironically seems the most organic. The window details are clean. Rocksteady did not forget to put in the bat extinguisher and the bat phone. The brake and the upper lever are present. The only thing I have to say is that the seats are flat and not rounded. And on the road, it seems to only have that high-pitched sound when it's driving in the tunnels, not outside. The natural driving sound in the game sounds way too modern for me. Physics-wise, the car doesn't seem to handle that good. It seems way too bouncy and it struggles going uphill without really pulling back. And as a whole, I'll give Adam West's Batmobile a 9.5 out of 10. For having an almost perfect render off the real Batmobile. The audio gets a 6 out of 10. It's not a 5 because it still sounds accurate when you're in tunnels, and outside of it, not really. So I can't give it anything higher. The physics gets a 7 out of 10 for not being over the top crazy, but also not really being that grounded. Now we're looking at the Batman vs Superman Batmobile. I have a guilty pleasure for this one because it has a tank, but also a speed car mentality without sacrificing either. After thoroughly looking, the exterior details seem to be really on point. There's not much to say about it, except for wow. The sunroof opening has a pretty snappy opening and a great sound effect too. And inside the driver's seat, we don't have a view of outside, just like the Keaton Batmobile. Rocksteady seemed to have copy-pasted the interface and the seating. Same with the Tumbler Batmobile. Now for the audio. No doubt that they're alike. But what about its physics? It handles like a monster, and I mean that in a good way. Turning is so fun, and so is just boosting on ahead with the Batmobile because it looks visually stunning. This gets 9.5 out of 10 for looks. Almost accurate, but still flawless enough. 10 out of 10 for audio design, okay? No contest there. Now that you've counted up your Batmobile scores, let's put them to the test. But we're not done! Rocksteady gave us this suit for free in 2022, but not the official Batmobile, so I threw in a mod just to compare it. Say hello to the 2022 Batmobile. The fact that this is just a mod and not officially done by the devs is amazing. It looks just like how you'd picture it in the movie. Rain details on point, the exterior details are as good as they can get. What about the inside? For one, it's got a singular opening in the sunroof, and whatever's inside here is just totally accurate as expected. The dash, the seat, the lever, the rear view mirror, dude, it's just totally accurate. Let's jump straight to the audio. I'm a little bit undecided on this, but I don't think they sound alike. Maybe a little bit off tune, sure. Let's look at the physics. It has really great weight distribution for a muscle car. I mean, hey, the front is definitely heavier than the back. For looks, I'm gonna give this one a 10 out of 10. The model definitely had an advantage here because, you know, free time and everything. But they're doing all this for free, which is really cool how much effort they put into it. I forgot to mention, this Batmobile has something that the others don't, and that's battle mode. It looks so clean. I love how the rear wheels actually stand up and it's got a turret on the top. Fun thing too, The wheels actually go inwards when you're turning either left or right to make the maneuverability make more sense. Also, giving the turret its own trapdoor at the top there is a really nice detail. For this thing having battle mode, I wish I could give it 11 out of 10 just for that. They sold are not really giving the other Batmobiles battle mode, but I understand why. Actually, no, they could have just also enabled battle mode when you have 100% save file. Audio for me gets an 8.5 out of 10 for not being entirely accurate but still good enough to pass as its own. And like I said, for its physics, it handles how a muscle car really would. So that is just a straight up 10 out of 10. So you see my points on screen for each Batmobile, and you see that BvS and 2022 are tied together. The question is, which one is actually better? It was a tough call to make, but I'll go for BvS. I understand the lack of a battle mode kind of sucks, but I love what this car has to offer. It's both a race car and a Batmobile at the same time. The 2022 doesn't really have that, it's more of a sporty car. The 2022 comes up in second place, it's still being really good looking, and the battle mode is a huge plus. I still want to hear your choice. Did I rub the 2022 car, or is the 89 Batmobile still better than everything else? Drop your personal list for your favorite Batmobiles in the comment section and I'll pin the best one.